versa. But you figure, I mean, if you're trying to get a gig, you want to be you're in showbiz. You want to do one or the other. Like when Miami Vice was huge, Don Johnson put an album out. And then the guy that was on Miami Vice with him, the guy that played Tubbs, was an actor named Philip Michael Thomas. And his album was terrible, and it flopped. Don Johnson was smart in that he just loaded the deck with these amazing artists and writers and players, and so he had like a #1 album. But David Soul had this big old hit. But David Soul has died at 80. Doesn't say from what. But again, you're right. That is a song that would invariably be included on like classic gold. Now, I don't know if Huggy Bear is still alive. For people who do remember Starsky and Hutch, in the movie, Snoop Dogg played Huggy Bear. He was a guy with like, glass pimp shoes or whatever. But the guy originally played Huggy Bear was an actor named Antonio Fargas. And I don't know if he's still around. I don't know if he's alive. But the other guy in Starsky and Hutch, Paul Michael Glaser, I remember he was in the news in the early 80s. I don't know if the show had been canceled by then. But his first wife, was one of the first. They were like the celebrities that put AIDS on the map. I probably could have phrased that better. But his wife, Elizabeth Glaser, got AIDS in like the very early 80s before people were really talking about it. They didn't know what was going on until a long time later. She had gotten a blood transfusion when she had their son. And then years later, mid-late 80s, his wife and his son start getting sick. And his daughter, too. So the wife and the 2 kids are getting sick, and they determined, by then people knew more about it.
Food poisoning.
AIDS.
Oh.
So their daughter dies. She's like 7. His wife dies. His son is still alive. His son's HIV positive. But I remember that vividly in the early 80s where Elizabeth Glaser was like the first big celebrity-adjacent thing before people were even really talking about AIDS. And they didn't even know what it was until years later.
It's good that he's optimistic, though.
That he's HIV positive? He's still alive. He's doing fine. But David Soul, and again, I don't know what he died from, but don't give up on us, baby.
Half full or half empty?
I don't know. Class half full or class half empty? It's a good way to look at it. Everybody is responding to the Cat Williams interview. Played you a little bit of it yesterday, and
there's so much. It's 3 hours long. I tried to watch some of it last night, and I was just like, it was just too much.
No, I just
to get into that. Nate
pulled you some of the highlights yesterday, but yeah, because he's calling out Joe Rogan and calling out. But this is what Cat Williams does.
Mm-hmm.
But people invariably will also say Cat Williams has done some of the funniest crap I've ever seen in my life.
He's also done some really nice things. He paid for an old black lady actress's Hollywood Walk of Fame star. I just saw this.
Who was that? Who was the lady?
What was her name? Let me find my buddy. That
Esther Roll from Good Times?
Who was it? Her name is...
Cat Williams is from Cincinnati. I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
What is this lady's name? Melba. Who's Melba?
Melba Moore?
Melba Moore, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Singer, actress.
Mm-hmm.
All right. She had some big hits back in the day, too.
Yeah. He paid for her Walk of Fame star.
Wow.
He made
Good
it
for
happen.
him. Yeah, so, he said Joe Rogan doesn't want me on because he's trying to pimp these other comics who aren't funny or whatever. And Joe Rogan tweeted out, he's like, I would love to have Cat Williams on. Let's figure it out. I would love to have you on.
I was going to say, Joe Rogan gave Cat Williams props because they were talking about the time he went on with Wanda or like some show, I think it was in Atlanta or something like that, and he like dogged out the female co-host on there because she was like calling him out and talking about his hair. He was like, run one of your gnarled fingers through my hair and see if...
Yeah, he's just like a live wire.
He went off.
You don't know. You don't know where he's going to go. He's a wild card.
She quit after that. he embarrassed her so bad on her own show that she quit.
Oh,
and her
no.
husband allegedly like pulled a gun out on him. She could not be seen in public for months after
your
that.
Gnarled fingers.
She said, run one of your gnarled fingers through my hair and see what happens, bitch.
Oh, man.
Like, you don't get Cat Williams on the radio live and then expect to, like, roast him because he will just pick you apart.
I don't know why people
fat
think.
bitch.
I don't know why people think they're going to get one over on professional comedians.
Who don't give a crap? He doesn't
Right.
and he's like known for not holding back.
Right.
You just
And he owns all his content,
You
too. so
think
he's
you're
not
going to
bought
do
by anyone.
better than him? Like, you're not going to. He's dealing with hecklers night after night after night. You know, the worst thing you can do, and I think we're all funny people. You know, this show has been on in this city, you know, for 14 years. And that's not by accident. This isn't a charity organization here. You know, we're all in our own way funny people. But the worst thing you can do is to think that you're going to be funnier than a guy like that who comes in to try to top a dude like that. You just got to step back and let him do his thing.
You set him up.
Set him up. Let him spike it over the net. So Joe Rogan was like, I'd love to have Cat Williams on. He spent most of the clips I played for you yesterday was him calling out Cedric the Entertainer and Steve Harvey and
Pretty much all the black comics in
well, he said that
LA.
he also said that P. Diddy offered him $50 million to like do him in a naughty place. And he was talking about he and Ludacris were invited to be in the Illuminati and if they would pledge their allegiance. So on the one hand, he does all this wild, funny stuff. On the other hand, he's pretty wacky. He's got a lot of absurd things going on in his brain. Ludacris actually said that he did a little freestyle to let everybody know that he's not in the Illuminati.
See the pendulum swing, Jesus with diamond thorns, ludicrous, swaddled in Gucci linens when I was born. Never been Illuminati, only Illuminati, and I only left with bitches when coming from any party. Now I'm married with kids, the evolution of life.
The Illuminati. It's kind of whack. Anyway, I love what? No shout out to Jake from State Farm? See them Ludacris State Farm ads?
Is he in State Farm? I haven't seen
Yeah,
those ones,
where the people come home and the hose from their kitchen floor is covered in water because there's a hose that's flying around and they go, that's ludicrous. And then he pops up and he goes, I'll tell you what's ludicrous. And then Jake from State Farm pops up and Ludacris goes away.
I want his ass standing in my parking spot when I get home today, then do his job.
Jake or Ludacris?
Ludacris.
Standing in your parking spot.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, I got you a car, homie.
Well, Ludacris, do you have State Farm?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Did you, a couple of people were texting me before when we were talking about your car. And they said that tell Poundcake to make sure that he asks for the diminished value reimbursement for his car. It's cash for the loss of the resale value. Anybody mentioned that?
No.
And you probably don't have rental coverage in your insurance either because you could be driving around a rental car while they're fixing it.
No, I do. I just have it for a certain amount, and I didn't want to do it if I didn't need it.
But you need a car.
I need a car, like, if it was any longer, they said it was going to be, like, quick. So I didn't.
It's been like 2 weeks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They always
3
will tell
weeks,
you
I
it's going to be quick, and then it's a month. So
Yeah.
you never know.
I understand
Yeah,
that,
my car
but-
got hit a couple of years ago, and I drove a rental car for almost a month because it took that long for them to fix my car.
Yeah, I didn't think I needed one because, one, it was over break, and I didn't want to, it was just Christmas shopping. I didn't think it was, like, a necessity. So I was like, if it's any longer than that, and I have, like, errands to run, if I'm doing, like, weddings and stuff like that, then, yeah, I would need one. But if I'm going back and forth to work, it's probably
You
cheaper.
bum a ride with Bill.
I can bum a ride with Bill, or I can Uber.
And you can
if
have
I-
heartfelt conversations.
Yeah, it would be cheaper to do that than go through the process. Like if I have one for, a couple days and then it's like, oh, your car's done. I'm like, damn it. Go through that whole process. I only have it for a certain amount and I don't know. I just don't know the ins and outs of that stuff. I've never had to get a rental before.
You've never had a rental car?
Mm-mm. No.
Okay.
I've only had liability insurance for because all my other cars I bought with, straight out of pocket.
All right.
I had liability. Like, okay, you hit it, then you're just out of a car. No, we're not going to just give you money for a car.
You're just out. Sorry. You're just out of a car. Is everybody feeling okay? Because it's 3 o'clock. Are you feeling all right?
I feel great.
I'm tired.
Mary's tired. Poundcake, are you feeling okay?
I'm okay.
I came across a thing that said that 3 o'clock on the nose is the scientific afternoon slump that people feel. And I certainly don't want people feeling that during this broadcast. That 3 o'clock on the dot. Now, again, I don't know how they determine this scientifically. But for most people, I mean, this is not new news that people start to kind of, feel a little bit off in the afternoon. It's like post-lunch. They're ready to go home if they're kind of a 9-to-5er. But that 3 o'clock is that afternoon slump. And on average, it lasts 29 minutes. So as long as everybody's feeling okay around here. I mean, Mary's tired because she's trying to figure out which garage she wants to live in. But
I should be sleeping 5 hours longer in the morning than I've been sleeping.
But just think about when you find a spot, then you will be sleeping
I was thinking about that.
longer.
I was thinking about that today. I was like, that's going to be incredible when I can just sleep until 11 again, get up, make my breakfast, come to work, go do my shows.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that I feel the afternoon slump. When I wake up before 10 or 11, I feel that afternoon slump. Got to get me a Red Bull, or that's usually when I take my medicine.
Having gone to bed when?
I usually am in bed by like 11 or 12.
Okay.
Last night, have you been able to sleep okay in
Well,
this new place? Or
this is different because I've never slept in a place that has radiator heating. So the
Bang,
room
bang, 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 bang.
that's constantly making noise, and the room is either freezing cold or 1,000 degrees.
Yeah.
So I have.
Like, that's it.
Which you love. Yeah.
Well, I like it when it's warm, but like
Can have the
when
windows
the
open.
radiator when the radiator shuts off, that heat dissipates in a couple minutes.
Right.
So it's like on, off, on. It almost feels like you have the flu, where like you're hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold all night.
So I have a radiator heater now. Like why does it make that noise? Why is it so loud? Because it does. It feels like like I hear the thumping on the floor.
It's like the metal expanding and contracting, right? Because there's
And-
such huge swings in temperature.
It sounds like there's water in it.
There is water in it.
Yeah.
Is
Steam
there?
forced,
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know.
It's whistling.
But yeah, it's got like it sounds like a
Mine doesn't do the clanking because I live in an old building too, so
Yeah.
it's that radiator heat. But it just it will do the whistling if it's, and so I'll just go and move the knob.
Yeah, because
and then the
hot
whistling
water is
stops.
going through
Yeah.
it.
That's another reason why I didn't think that the police were like I thought I was dreaming when the police were knocking on my door because I was like, oh, it's probably just the radiator. I'm like, damn, this radiator's getting real loud. Doom, 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 doom.
Radiator.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, what is that thumping? It's really getting
Moved into the wrong spot.
Yeah.
That's the sound of the police.
Well, okay, yeah. I mean, I've been staying up. My daughter is still on vacation, and so since she doesn't have to go to
Go back to school?
Monday.
Ah.
But like I was off before. She still had a week of school when we went on break, and so it's kind of overlapping a little bit. So I've been up later just because she's up later, and it's just killing me.
Yeah.
I'm not, on school nights, I ain't going to bed at 11 o'clock at night. I'm in bed 9:30,
Yeah.
get my sleep, get my beauty rest. But
I
I'm
love
staying
sleep.
up late because she didn't have to go to school the next day, so she wants to stay up late.
That was me last
She's like
night.
hell bent on staying up late.
I made the mistake. I don't know what. Maybe my diet's changing, or like I'm getting back in the swing of things. I actually have stuff to do during the day. So last night by like 9:30, I was like so groggy. I'm like, bro, I am so tired. I think I could probably fall asleep right now. So like around 10 o'clock, I actually tried to fall asleep. I'm like, I could sleep probably mostly through the night. Let's see. I woke up at midnight. I was up all night. I slept for like 2
2 hours.
All night. Yeah.
I slept for 2 hours. I'm like, this is not real. So then I
Go back to sleep at 6 a.m.
Yeah, it was like 4 or 5, and I slept for a couple hours. I woke up again and tried to have some coffee. I'm like, this is ridiculous. So yeah, the getting back in the swing of things is like real. Like you have to put your sleep pattern back on. So I have to like fight no matter how tired I am. I have to like fight to stay up at least till like midnight.
I'll tell you what I'm loving are these, just as a general rule, because there's always one popping up somewhere, are the divorced celebrity thirst traps. I'm such a big fan of when these women get split up with their man and then they just post nonstop foxy pictures. We had Jeff Dye in here yesterday. He's still in town. He's doing hilarities with Bill this weekend. And he was with Kristen Cavallari, who used to be
Yes.
married to Jay Cutler.
Yes.
And when she divorced Jay Cutler, she posted she's not 22. She's like pushing 40. But in amazing shape, looks great.
She still looks young, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what she's from. She was on a reality
She
show?
was on Laguna Beach, and then she did The Hills for a little bit.
Okay.
So she's one of these reality TV
Gotcha.
broads.
I know of those shows. I never watched them, but she's from something like that. And so anyway, but when these people get divorced, they just post the women when the wife is going back to being single. And Jeannie Mai was married to Jeezy for a while.
Correct.
And she's older. She's almost 50.
And she had a baby, I think.
She
as well.
looks awesome.
This fake body.
And what?
Fake body.
Fake body?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like
She's keeping it tight.
She got a lot of work done, I think.
So what?
Fake
If that's the
boobs.
result, you're getting your money's worth. Why does everybody want their money's worth except when it comes to plastic surgery?
I didn't say she didn't get her money's worth.
You
I
said
just
fake body.
It is a fake body.
What's fake about it?
Because she
doesn't have big boobs, so those aren't fake. Unless they were uneven and she just wanted to shape them up.
I think
She's 45 years old.
She's get a breast lift, and then but like she got her body done, like most Hollywood women do.
Listen, man, the thirst trap is all about the end result, so I don't care how she got there. She looks great. And so, yeah, when these women are like, my man and I, we were splitting up or whatever, I don't know what the circumstances around their divorce, and I don't much care. But they were married for quite some time. But like goddamn clockwork, when these celebrity couples split up, the wife always posts. When Dre and his wife were splitting up, man. Because then they're like, yeah, check this out. I guess that's how you get the next guy. I don't know.
Yeah, this is what you're leaving.
Right, but at that point, the guy doesn't care. He knows what he had. It's not like he's never seen her in a swimsuit before. He knows. He's like, I don't care. I can't put up with you 1 minute more.
I want to see Bezos' wife's thirst trap now that she's divorced. She's like, yeah, this is what $38 billion would get you.
Oh, because she married that teacher.
Yeah, but then they got
divorced
in like a year.
Yeah. Yep. She's like, I need to be with a normal person. I'm done with Dr. Evil, and I need to be with a normal person.
He's like, hell yeah.
Yeah, and she
you
met
do.
some dude, some teacher, Dan Jewett. It was a COVID marriage, and as soon as COVID was over, they were like, a lot of people did that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people had COVID relationships.
Now, obviously, they signed a prenup, but that doesn't mean he didn't get anything. How much do you think he got from that divorce?
You know how much I think he got? Nothing.
Mm-mm.
I bet in a
It ain't
situation
nothing for him to
like
cut.
that, why would he get anything? He's a teacher. He married Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. I could fully see a situation where he's like, I'll sign whatever you want me to sign. Why would she give him any money?
But I'm saying a prenup just means you agree on something before you get married. It doesn't mean you don't get anything. He might get spousal support.
Well, no, it depends on what's in the prenup. It means what the prenup means. Whatever you've designated in that prenuptial agreement. Some people say we go our separate ways and we leave with what we brought. Other people go, some of those celebrity prenups, they get really granular. They're like, if we're married for 10 years, you get $5 million. If we're married for 20 years, you get blah, blah, blah. If we're married for under 5 years, you get nothing. And if I'm this guy, she had been divorced for a little while when they got together, I guess. It wasn't like it was a rebound thing. But why would he get any money?
I don't know. But even if because it's just like nothing to her. Like, why would she not give him money? Like, even if he got
Maybe she did. I'm not saying I know
$25,000
nothing
a month.
about it. I'm just saying that I could see them just because she's one of the richest women on the planet doesn't mean she's gonna.
I know. But she's like, I'm gonna give you $25,000 a month to leave me alone. Don't you dare ask me for more. I'm like, okay. $25,000. You're a cruel woman giving me $25,000 a month.
But would you take? I mean the royal you, not you, Cody, because I know your answer. Back to the royal you. But I mean, Mackenzie Scott has $53 billion. Okay, that's her net worth. And she's donated about $5 billion. She gave money to the Cleveland Food Bank, wrote them a nice big check a couple years ago. And so she's dedicated to that kind of philanthropy and gives billions of dollars away every year because when you have, $53 billion, you're not going to miss it. But if you were married for 2 years and then they go, it's not working out. Now, again, I don't know the circumstances around it. Let's assume it was amicable. Not working out. And she goes, I'll give you $1 million. Do you take it? You take.
You don't want to fight.
She offers
if you're
you
like, screw it, just give me it. I don't want to do this. It depends on how much your time is worth to you, I think.
What do you? No, I'm just saying they split up, and she goes, "I'll give you $1 million."
Because the
Are you
lawyer's gonna
saying
take
versus suing for half?
No, not even that. He would
Oh.
have no standing to sue for half. They were married for like 2 years.
It's like, do you take what she gives you or fight?
She'd
for
been
more?
married to Jeff Bezos when before the guy got
would
his
take
his
it.
hair plugs and
But you gotta think the lawyer's gonna take what, 40%? So then
So that's just take what she offers you. Be like, here, under the
600,000.
table.
Huh.
And then taxes are going to take half that. So you.
I'm not even talking about taxes. You're barely married to her. And she goes,
says,
I'll give you
$1 million.
Here's $1 million. You
Get
take
out of my
that?
life.
Not even get out of my life. You've already decided to split. Do you say, I'll take the $1 million? You go, no, thank you. Have a great life. It would feel weird. I know it's $1 million.
I'm taking the money.
Okay. It would feel really weird. You're with someone, she got half of her husband's money because she was with him before he was anything, and they were married for 25 years. But then you marry a guy for 2 years. And you go, yeah, I'll take that money. I mean, $1 million is nothing to her, granted. And it would be a lot to him. But just on principle, you take it?
Yep.
Okay.
Bill.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not even saying yes or it's right or wrong. I'm just curious. It feels like it was like such a cup of coffee as a relationship. Like
So
if you had dated someone for 2 years, it would be kind of the same. They didn't have kids. They'd be like, all right, it didn't work out. See you later. It just so happens that she's a multi-billionaire.
Which is
and they got
exactly the
married.
point. I guess to put it in perspective, if I was married to someone for 2 years and they were like, hey, here's $15,000. I'd be like, yeah, I'll take that money. That's my starting over money.
Because she filed for divorce after 1 year. And there was no mention of a prenup. So they were, I guess, legally married for 2 years. But after 1 year.
But he knows he doesn't have money to fight her on it.
Right.
He doesn't. She's got so many more resources that if he were to even try to go for half, he would be drained in court.
Right.
So take what you're offered and have a happy life. Go marry another teacher with 30 years of your salary.
Yeah. All right, I got a break here. I will have those tickets if you want to go see The Devil Wears Prada. They're on the Metalcore Dropouts Tour, and that's going to bring them to Cleveland in a few weeks. January 21, they're going to do the House of Blues around the corner here. It's brought to you by 2 Hours to Midnight, our metal show. So you want to go see them and some other bands they're bringing with them, I'll hook you up coming back.
It's the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app.
Or